You have one new message. Translating. Disney and Pixar's Hoppers is now available on Disney+.
You could say that again.
Critics are calling it Pixar's funniest movie ever and a wildly entertaining ride. Blizzard Potato. It's certified fresh and verified hot.
Now we party.
This is incredible!
Wow, I am clearing the rest of the day.
Disney and Pixar's Hoppers, now available on Disney+. Rated PG.
This episode is brought to you by Fox One. Watch all 104 matches of the FIFA World Cup live in 4K for just $19.99 a month with 3 days free. Build your own multi-view, choose up to 3 streams, and follow player spotlights. Stay on top of every moment with live stats, highlights, and instant replays. The FIFA World Cup, streaming live on Fox One. Offers are subject to change. See fox.com for complete terms and conditions.
Mr. Salt, my guy Mike Lawler. Michael, good morning. How are you?
I'm good, Sid. How are you?
I'm not so good, Mike. I'm not so good because I want somebody to explain to me who's not just sucking up to Trump. I'm tired of that. If you use the quote, he's playing chess, I will literally jump through the phone and break your nose, which I want to do to Brad Lander today anyway. I really want to punch Brad Lander across the face. But somebody needs to explain to me.
He does have a punchable face.
I just want to punch him right across the face, and I'll get in trouble for saying it, but I don't care. Let me say it again. I want to punch Brad Lander right across the face. Somebody explain to me, other than spending a lot of money, getting a lot of people killed everywhere, Israel, bases, Iran. What the hell have we accomplished?
So give me a few minutes because it's a little bit complicated.
No, it's not. No, it's not. But you're going to make it complicated.
Let me explain.
God damn it. Tell me then. Yes.
All right. So everybody needs to take a deep breath and take a step back.
Oh, God.
Number one, What was the president's objective? The president's objective was to ensure that Iran does not get a nuclear weapon and that we obliterate their military capabilities.
I never heard about. Hold on. I'm going to stop you each step of the way. The military capabilities came later. No one gave a rat's ass about the Iranian Navy when this thing started.
No. When he made the decision to go in, it was precisely because they were mass producing ballistic missiles.
Yeah, they still are
at a very alarming rate.
They still are, and they still have the uranium. So wait, they still have the uranium. What have we done to?
Sid, if you're going to let me do it,
no. You got it. They still.
You're going to interrupt every 5 seconds.
I'm going to have to do it. They still have the uranium. How have we stopped their nuclear program? They still have the uranium. How have we stopped it?
Sid.
Yeah.
Here's the bottom line.
Yeah.
What has transpired over the last 3+ months, their ballistic missiles program, their drone capacity, their naval fleet, their air defenses have effectively been obliterated. The leadership, the Ayatollah, the clerics, and the leadership of the IRGC, the top levels, are eliminated. They're gone. They're dead. Like a dog. Okay? When you look at what is left, what has happened over the last, 2+ months with the blockade, it crippled their economy. They were losing $500 million a day. They couldn't move the oil. This is the oil trade with China is what has allowed the Iranian regime to pursue all of these things, finance terrorism, pursue their nuclear ambitions.
Now, did you hear that Qatar? Did you hear that Qatar gave them? Did you hear that recently Qatar gave them $1 billion which we knew about and didn't report?
Yes, to protect their ships in the Strait of Hormuz, which again, this has been the challenge with Qatar from the very beginning. Qatar plays all sides and every
the
side.
same Qatar that we sat with them yesterday. Right.
I understand. That is something that I have been talking about for years, that Qatar needs to be effectively dealt with. And that is something that I think the administration needs to take a harder line on. At the same token, they have been helpful in some ways with respect to some of the negotiations that took place with respect to Hamas. But that's a sidetrack. The bottom line here, okay, unlike the Obama deal, unlike what the Biden administration tried to do, where they were easing sanctions, where they were allowing the illicit oil trade to take place to the tune of hundreds of billions of dollars, where Obama was handing them pallets of fucking cash. Okay? We're not doing that. number one. Number two, they get nothing if they don't turn over the enriched uranium. They get nothing if they pursue a nuclear weapon. In fact, what they'll get is rising, escalating strikes. So if I were them, this is the first time in 47 years that they've actually made a somewhat wise decision, which is to say, okay, our economy is in shambles. Our military is effectively gone. Maybe now's a good time to give up the nukes.
Yeah, why?
Now,
well, hold on a second. Hold on. They don't care. They don't care about the people who live there. The folks.
Of course they don't.
Right. So
it's all about
all of
holding
it.
on to power.
Oh, they want to hold on to power and they want money. So what's going to stop them from signing a stupid piece of paper in Switzerland on Friday, just like they did with Obama and Kerry, and operating the same exact way as they've done for 47 years? I got news for you. They're not scared of us. They're not scared. They're not. So that piece of paper, you can wipe your ass with it. What does it really mean? What does it really mean?
Ask the Ayatollah if they're not scared.
Okay, so what? We killed them. Great.
They
got 1,000 of those guys. What do you think? We killed all the bad guys are dead now? Now they're all dead?
So Sid, what were you going to do? Continue this in perpetuity?
Yes. Yes. Keep bombing the hell out of these people, blow everything up, and do what you said you were going to do.
Here's the problem. And I've listened to some of my Democratic colleagues opine over the last 24, 48 hours. These are the same people that have voted repeatedly over the last 3 months to order an immediate withdrawal, and now they're complaining that they don't like the terms of the deal. First of all, they haven't seen the deal. Neither have you. Neither have I.
It's weird, too.
Okay.
That's weird, too. Yeah.
It will come out. Yeah. It will come out.
Okay.
But the bottom line here is this. You have a regime that has been severely beat back, okay? Their military capacity has been severely diminished. What we wanted out of this ultimately is the nukes. The president will have, 60 or so days to negotiate to get the dust. If they don't give the dust, they get nothing.
Okay.
They get absolutely nothing.
Well, they don't get nothing. There's other countries.
We're probably back in a situation where we strike the ever-loving shit out of them.
They are getting money from other places. They don't care. We've been having these negotiations. Witkoff wasted our time. Kushner.
That is true. Look, the sanctions regime that we have put in place, and listen, I've been a leader in this. This has been, in my time in Congress, okay, from a foreign affairs standpoint, I've been on the Foreign Affairs Committee. I'm the chair of the Middle East. I have spent an exorbitant amount of time focused on the sanctions regime against Iran. Okay? It was my bill, the SHIP Act, with Marco Rubio. We passed it last Congress to go after the illicit oil trade between China and Iran, precisely to go after their funding. The Biden administration would not enforce it. Janet Yellen came before Congress. I asked her, have you started to implement the SHIP Act? She goes, what? What act is that?
That's true.
I mean, it was embarrassing.
Agreed.
Trump came in. He started implementing the terms of the SHIP Act, put crippling sanctions on their illicit oil trade with China. The blockade was strategically brilliant because what it did was it cut off their ability to move their oil, and they don't have the storage capacity. This is why the Iranian regime is actually negotiating. This is what people don't seem to grasp. The reason they're negotiating is not because we bombed the crap out of them, not because we killed the Ayatollah. It's because we literally crippled their economy by putting this blockade of their blockade, and they could not move the oil.
They've been negotiating. They've been negotiating for a long time. Kushner, Witkoff, the president.
Never in good faith.
So wait. So you believe they're negotiating in good faith? Maybe I'm just stupid. I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid.
No. What I'm saying to you is this is the first time that they have finally looked at
They've done
the
nothing.
situation.
They've done nothing.
No, wait a minute. This is the first time they've looked at the situation and said, okay, this ain't working.
Right.
And they recognize for the first time that they actually have to make a deal. Now, what does that ultimately mean? If they don't give the dust, if they hold on to the nuclear material.
Which they will.
If they continue to pursue, well, maybe they will.
They 100%
Maybe
will.
they will.
They 100%
if
will.
They do.
Yeah.
They get nothing.
Well, then, but how is this a win? If they still have the dust, right, and this is all based on the nuclear program and the dust, they still have it. The bottom line is
there's two ways to get the dust. You either send troops in to get the dust, or you negotiate the removal of the dust. Those are the two options.
Well, send them in. Send them in and take the goddamn dust. Negotiating doesn't work with these animals.
When half of Congress is voting for an immediate withdrawal by like a bunch of stupid people undermining the negotiations, giving the Iranian regime cover, well, makes it very difficult to do that.
No, but these are two different things we're arguing here. I'm with you. I know you're on the right side and half of Congress isn't. But as much as I love Trump, I'm not going to sit here and tell you moving the naval blockade, we just put it back. There was no naval blockade before we started the war, okay? The Strait of Hormuz was open before we started the war. Really what we've done the last couple of days in this agreement is put things back in place and acquired nothing. They still have the dust. There are still bad guys running the show there. They're just acting as if they're not.
But no, nobody is under any illusion here that you're all of a sudden the Iranian people are now governed by some great leadership. They're not. But that's ultimately a decision for the Iranian people to make. If they have the capacity and the drive and the willingness to overthrow this regime.
Oh, stop it. Please stop it.
That's the only way that's ever happening.
Well, it's not happening.
If you think we're going in, if you think we're sending in troops for regime change, that's never happening.
Oh, then we did nothing, because I got news for you. The people can want whatever they want, but last I checked, 40,000 got mowed down in the street. So unless we're going to provide these people with guns, who cares what they want to do? How are they going to do it?
Providing them with arms is a different conversation. I'm talking about sending troops in, which we're not doing.
Okay, then how about providing these people with arms?
I would have no problem with that in the long term, but that is a separate conversation. The issue to me was always about the nuclear material.
Right.
That is where, and unless you are willing to send in troops, the only way you're getting there is through negotiation.
Yeah, I'll send in troops. I don't believe them negotiating anymore. And they still have it. So you can't tell me you're right. They still have the dust. Another issue with this.
But not one penny, okay, is going to be released through sanctions relief by the United States.
I don't know if that's true. I don't even know if that's true. Says who?
How so?
Because it wouldn't shock me if I found out later that we did give them a couple of bucks to try to coax them to make that deal. I don't know. It wouldn't shock me. I mean, we haven't seen the deal.
The United States is not giving them one penny ever.
Well, depends on who you listen to when it comes to that. And I hope you're right. I think Trump knows better. Here's the other thing I have an issue with, by the way, Lawler. Explain this one to me. Mamdani's still a nice guy. I heard President Trump this morning at the G7 talk about how nice and smart and easy the Iranians are to deal with. But again this morning, and it's now 4 consecutive days, he found a way to humiliate Bibi. Now, you're going to tell me that's all part of him playing chess? That's all smart because he wants to throw Israel under the bus to make the rest of the world happy? How am I supposed to be okay with President Trump continuously, lately, bashing Bibi? He's difficult, he's an asshole, he's a pain in the ass, and yet Mamdani's a great guy, the Iranians are great guys. I never talk badly about, he called Erdogan a good guy. How am I supposed to deal with that?
I've been very straightforward in my view that the despots and dictators of the world should never get any cover, from Putin to Erdogan to Xi to the Ayatollah. And I don't agree with the president on that. I think, when it comes to Zelensky, when it comes to Netanyahu, I look at it very simple. They are fighting for the survival of their country. What people don't seem to grasp in the United States, especially those that are extremely critical of Israel and of Netanyahu. Bibi said this to me last year. We fight or we die. If they don't fight, if they don't defend themselves, they die. And many of the countries in the Middle East would be just fine with that. Wouldn't care one ounce if Israel was wiped off the face of the earth. And so from my vantage point, Bibi has a responsibility to not only defend his country, but to ensure its survival. What the president is dealing with right now, obviously, is ultimately getting a deal done that results in the nuclear material being removed. Period. That's it. That is the objective. And that is what the focus is. This, obviously, you would love for the deal to be done in a way where the material is removed immediately. You're not dealing with rational actors.
No kidding.
You're dealing with You're dealing with a regime that is hell-bent on death to America.
Right, and you're the one who just said negotiating in good faith. I didn't say that.
No, what I said to you is they've never negotiated in good faith.
Yeah.
For the first time, they are actually sitting at the table dealing. It's the first time you're actually getting a real negotiation on something.
Okay.
You and I may disagree on some of this, but the fact is that there is one objective to me: get the dust. If we don't get the dust,
we're not
they
going
get nothing.
No, we're not
and not only do they not get anything,
no, we're not getting it. So.
Then we're going to be dealing with this very expeditiously.
Faraday presenta Ojos con Alergia y Picazón contra el jardinero. Y el ganador es Faraday Extra Fuerte. Para aliviar la picazón de los ojos por alergia, actúa más rápido y supera a Claritin y Flonase aún a las 24 horas. Faraday, adelante.
Choice Hotels get you more of what you value. Comfort Inn, it's calling your name. Save on the stay. Oh, and free waffles are yours to claim. Book direct at choicehotels.com.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile. I don't know if you knew this, but anyone can get the same premium wireless for $15 a month plan that I've been enjoying. It's not just for celebrities. So do like I did and have one of your assistants switch you to Mint Mobile today. I'm told it's super easy to do at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
See, I love the start of this. I loved Operation Epic Fury. I really did. And I gave President Trump the credit he deserves. Because the truth is, here's where you got to give Trump credit. President after president said they would do something about it. And he did. So you got to give Trump all the credit in the world for doing that. But there was no exit plan. There was nothing. They really thought, this administration, who I love, that Iran was going to crumble and just quit, take their guns and go home. And when they didn't, we didn't have a plan. So to sit down at a table with these lying thieves, these murderers and scumbags who promise us the world while they still have the dust means nothing. So the intent was great. The start was great.
I'll disagree with you.
No, you can't disagree because you don't have the dust. No. We don't have the dust.
I see. Here's the difference. I never thought they were just going to fold. This idea that somehow this regime was just going to say, okay, all good.
So you think this exit plan is good? You think that we knew this like you did and I did, and this is a good exit plan? This is good?
It's not a question of good or bad. It's a question of reality. Mm-hmm. And in this moment, okay, what the president is dealing with, as I said, he had one objective, which was to address their military capacity. That has largely been done. The second objective is to get the dust. Obviously, they decided to shut down the Strait of Hormuz, and what the president did was took advantage of that and did a blockade on their blockade. And what did it do? It crippled their economy. They were losing $500 million a day. They have 300% inflation. Their economy is in complete shambles. And they recognized that if they couldn't move their oil, if they couldn't have a flow of commerce, that it would create devastating consequence. Now, you could have kept this in perpetuity, and maybe some people think that's the wisest course of action. But when you have half of Congress acting belligerently, undermining these negotiations, undermining these issues, it creates a challenge domestically.
Yeah.
And obviously, you look at oil prices, that, of course, is a concern. We don't want oil prices to be high in this country. We want core inflation to be low. We don't want the American people suffering. But there's a balance of all of these issues and working towards a resolution. The end result, to me, if you get the dust, it is a success.
Okay.
That is how I am going to measure this.
I agree.
If you get the dust, it is a success.
I agree.
If you don't get the dust,
right.
If they don't give the dust, not only do they get nothing, but you will have to take military action again. And that to me is all things are on the table, but you get the dust through negotiation if you are not sending troops in.
Right.
And the reality is we're not sending troops in.
Which we should have done. But either way, I love you. This was a great conversation. I mean, if you're going to send troops in there to blow up a whole bunch of stuff, go in there and get the most important thing that you want. That's the bottom line. That's what we should have done. I don't want to keep this thing going for years and years and years and years. And I'm not interested in blowing up bridges and oil fields. Go in there and get the damn dust. That's what we should have done because you're not going to give it to us.
I get it, but I will say this. When you are talking about sending troops on the ground in Iran, there is a devastating cost to that.
Then don't start the war. Then don't start the war.
Ultimately, the president made a decision that was not worth the cost.
Then don't start the war, Mike. Don't start it because you didn't finish it. They're not going to give you the dust. You can talk to your face turns blue, negotiating. You're not going to get it. So don't start it. Don't start it.
We will see.
Are you mad at me?
No, I'm not mad at you.
That was a pretty good conversation. No, it was a good conversation. I'm telling you, I'm going to Israel Thursday morning, and I'm going to speak with Bibi at the International Policy Summit for JNS. Those people, 99% love Trump. Under 50 now. They're furious. They don't see anything changing. And now they're in bigger trouble, especially if Iran gets some money, which I know you said won't happen.
I think one of the things that's going to come out of this is you are going to see greater normalization between Arab states and Israel. I have met repeatedly with the different ambassadors throughout this conflict. They have been united in wanting to stop a nuclear Iran. They have been united in supporting the decisions made by the United States, and they've been united in defending not just their own territory, but in defending Israel. And so I do think there is a greater hope coming out of this for normalization, greater economic and military cooperation throughout the region. I do believe fundamentally when you look at the end result here, Iran is severely decimated in terms of its military capabilities. And I think ultimately the outstanding issue is getting the dust. And if the president gets the dust, all of these naysayers, all of the people that have been critical will have to eat crow.
Oh, 100%. No, he gets the dust. And forget about the Knicks. You make a ticket tape parade for President Trump here in New York, and I'll be right there at the very first float. I just don't see it. But I love you. This was a great conversation. Amazing. And you're the best. Great congressman. Great guy. And I just hope you're right. That's all, Mike. I love you. Thank you.
I'll talk to you soon.
See you, Mikey. Mike Lawler right there, the king of Rockland County, Mr. Salt, or now we should call him Mr. Dust. I don't know. He loves to say that word, dust. We're going to get the dust. He ain't getting dick. Ain't giving us no dust. Maybe angel dust.
Thanks for listening to Sid and Friends in the Morning. You can hear Sid and Friends in the Morning weekday mornings at 6. If you like the podcast, share it with your friends and listen anytime at WABCRadio.com and download the WABC Radio app. Hit that subscribe button on all major podcast platforms. Plus, follow WABC on social on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, and X. See you next time for a new episode so you never have to wonder.
What the heck is going on here?
A burst pipe. A dead water heater. The AC calling it quits. Who do you call? HomeServe is an easy way to handle unexpected home repairs with plans covering stuff basic homeowners insurance usually won't. Instead of scrambling for a contractor, you make one call to get the repair process started. Join the millions of customers who trust HomeServe right now. Go to homeserve.com/podcast for 50% less your first year. That's homeserve.com/podcast. Savings compared to renewal price void in Florida.
Starting a business can seem like a daunting task, unless you have a partner like Shopify. They have the tools you need to start and grow your business. From designing a website to marketing to selling and beyond, Shopify can help with everything you need. There's a reason millions of companies like Mattel, Heinz, and Allbirds continue to trust and use them. With Shopify on your side, turn your big business idea into... Sign up for your $1 per month trial at shopify.com/special offer.